Hey y'all, it's your girl Angel Thornton. Welcome back to No Boundaries. Today we have an amazing person in the building. Today we have Rushia Brown. If you don't know her, which you should, she is from South Carolina, one of the original WNBA players. Like, that's history right there. Like, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure for you to be here. Like, giving little old me a chance.
No, I love it. Thank you.
No problems. So, just a little background history. You played for the Clevelands, and you also played for. It starts with a C.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Like, did you have a favorite team?
You know, I think because it was the beginning, every team was my favorite, but I played for Charlotte my last year. So those first 6 years playing in Cleveland became a second home. So they were definitely my favorite.
Oh, well, hey, give it up to the Cleveland. So what initially drew you to basketball? Like, who were your earlier influencers?
You know, I was never really interested in sport, but my father was a huge fan and he watched basketball. I never really wanted to play, but when my father passed away, I wanted to figure out a way to stay close to him.
I'm
sorry. So I started playing basketball and just figured, you know, that was something that he would have enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the game after that.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's like super proud of you.
I hope he's looking down proud.
Yeah, like, I mean, you one of the originals. Like, you took it to another level most people probably never going to see. So that's amazing. Can you describe like one memorable interaction you had with a fan that was like impactful for you?
You know, it's funny because when I played in Cleveland, it was pure fan hysteria. And there was this one little girl, her name was Alexa, and Alexa was probably like 7, 8. And she would come to all the games. Her mom would bring her to the games and she'd sit behind the bench. And she became my number one fan. And so I would always look for her afterwards. I would make sure I took pictures with her, signed stuff for her. And here it is 27 years later, I went back to Cleveland because they had the Final Four.
Yeah.
And I hosted a Rockers reunion. It was the Cleveland Rockers. And she came, and now she's like 35 with 2 kids. And she's still my number one fan. And so
amazing.
We've stayed in contact over the years via Facebook. She's had a lot going on in her life, and we've maintained contact. But that's the thing, because even as an athlete, my life is what it is, but you get to have connections with people because of the sport. And she's one of those people that I really enjoyed being around.
And that's amazing when you can make those connections with on the sports and people supporting you, because there's nothing like support at the end of the day. It's like, dang, you really feeling me, huh?
And that's the thing, when people support you and you're good and bad, you really appreciate that.
Yeah, especially if you're having like a downtime and then you see that person, you're like, you know what? Now I remember why I'm here. Like, you encourage me to do better.
For sure.
So, you know, I know sports is like a very like busy lifestyle. Any type of sports you play. Where were some of the things you did to make balance in your life?
You know, I really enjoyed the opportunity to travel.
Yeah.
And though I played in the WNBA for 7 years, I played internationally for 10. So I lived in 5 different countries. So though I would be overseas playing, I found time to visit the different monuments, to go travel and see friends, to enjoy the food, the culture, the museums. And so I think that's one of the things that helped me stay balanced. I got a chance to expose my family to some of those things too, because being from a small town in South Carolina, you know, that's not the expectation. But all the different gifts and blessings that I had, I wanted to expose my family to as well.
Like,
so
we made it.
I know we're doing some things. So it was really a great opportunity to be able to travel the world doing what I love. Meeting amazing people, eating great food on somebody else's dime, for sure, and making money while I did it.
Do you feel like the fans were go harder out the country or in the country?
You know, it's just different. When I played in the WNBA, because it was the first, the WNBA was the first professional league under the NBA. People were crazy. And overseas, they'd had professional basketball longer. So it just really depended on what country I went to. I remember when I played in Salamanca, Spain, we had like 1,000 people at our practices. They would just come and watch us practice.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Me neither.
Yeah, so I was like, wait, let me not go to jail.
You can't hear, but over there you could. They would just come and watch us practice, and then our games would be sold out. So it's a different type of fanatic.
Yeah. What was your favorite country?
That's so tough. I lived, my first year I played in the Canary Islands in Spain, which is off the coast of Africa. I absolutely loved it. But I lived in Italy for 4 years. So the food, the fashion,
Italy,
the history.
Milan.
Yeah,
Milan
I was like an
beautiful.
hour and a half from Milan, so I got a lot of time there. So it was between Spain and Italy.
Okay, yeah, I've been to Italy. I haven't been to Spain yet, but I do want to go there. Are people high all the time there? Is that? Oh, it's Amsterdam.
Amsterdam for sure. Yeah, right, Amsterdam for sure. No, Spain is cool, but Amsterdam they have and have had for the longest time access to everything.
Oh wow. Well, the U.S. is a little behind.
We are absolutely behind.
You still get arrested with a little pack on you.
You're absolutely behind.
But you know, one thing that most people don't take into effect is that when you're a woman and you play basketball and you have kids, how that changes your body. What was your experience with like having a child and having to get back into the sports and like go hard?
But see, that's the thing, because especially starting in the beginning, that was one of the most sought after jobs.
Yeah.
And so you might miss your job.
Right.
Like even today there are 12 teams with 12 players. So that's 144 women in the world.
Yeah.
When I played, there were 8 teams with 12 women. So that's 96 women in the entire world.
Yeah.
That got a chance to play the sport. So I wasn't willing to risk it.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't have my daughter until I was 40.
Oh, you
So I lived, I played. It was after I retired and started living a regular life that I said, okay, I'll have a child. But my whole life was committed to being the professional athlete, doing my best and making sure that I put the best product on the court.
Yeah. And in doing so, like having to make those compromises or those like decisions, do you feel like there is parts of your childhood or even adulthood that you missed that you like?
Oh, absolutely. Like in living out of the country for 10 years, I missed weddings, birthdays, funerals, births of amazing family members, sacrificed relationships, job opportunities. You know, so there was a lot, but I was committed to what I was doing, and I just thought, you know, at that time, that was my focus.
Yeah, and that's all. It was like 2020 vision or tunnel vision. Is it 2020 vision or 2020? Tunnel vision. You know, I recently learned 22 vision is not a thing. I've been thinking I had 22 vision, but anyway, I thought I did. I had LASIK surgery. LASIK eye surgery.
Into the future.
Yeah, I was like,
life
is so clear for me now. I see all the things going on. But anyway, that's amazing. Even with my own career, like I sacrificed relationships, birthday trips, because you're just trying to build. And then you hope that people understand and appreciate, like, all right, I get what you're trying to do.
That sacrifice is a part of it.
Do you feel like your training and your mental state and all that, did that help you in any way become a good mother, a better mother? Or
absolutely. I think sports teaches you so much.
Discipline.
On and off the court. Discipline, how to be a team player, understanding it's not always about you, how to be tough and work through issues and be able to, you know, just understand what the priorities are at the time. And it definitely has made me, I hope my daughter would say, a good mother. You know, but it's a challenge because there is no handbook.
Yeah.
And there are things that these kids experience these days that are not like what we experienced in our day. So I just really try and, you know, be flexible as far as understanding how she feels, allowing her to have a voice, which is very different from how I grew up.
Right.
You know, the kids would just shut up and sit in the corner and not say anything.
These days, they be like, that's,
you're
hurting
done.
me.
But I want her to have a voice because I know, especially young girls are taken advantage of when they don't know how to use their voice.
Yeah.
So she needs to know how to speak up for herself. So I'm training her to be a strong woman, but in her learning to be strong, she's got to learn how to chill out when I'm telling her something.
Balance.
So we're trying to attain that balance.
That is important, though, that you said that, like, because when you tell, be quiet, hush, because when you get in the real world and now it's like, you don't even know how to defend yourself or speak up and not then you be a people pleaser or people take advantage of you. So that's a good pointer. I don't have any kids yet, but I'm going to take that with me when I do.
Please do.
I'm sure it was a transition going from like, all right, this is my everyday life to now I'm retired and now I'm figuring out what's next. How was that for you?
You know what? Initially it was difficult because I'd done something for so long, and when you're in that space, people see you as the basketball player. So even when I retired, people would say, oh, that's Rushia, the basketball player. And I was like, I do other things. Like even today, I haven't played in a long time and people still greet me as that. Yeah. But I've learned to leverage that to get into certain rooms, to have opportunities, let people see me as that, and then show them what else I am. So I think my transition initially was difficult because I had to understand that basketball was what I did and not who I was. Yeah. And once I developed these other personalities or other characteristics and showed them to people, I was more confident.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's the same with me. Like I'm a hairstylist. I was thrown into the field, honestly. I did not think I was going to be a hairstylist. And so when I say I like to do other things, people are like, well, I thought you should do hair. No, I have personality. I love psychology, so it is hard to just kind of like, all right, am I anything outside of hair? So for you to be able to find that for yourself is amazing.
It definitely is important because that helps you to be successful.
So I'm all about community service. Can you speak on what inspired you to start the BAWSE Girls?
Yep, my boss girls. Brilliant, ambitious, worldly, strong, and educated. So I think when I started the nonprofit with Marcia, it was...
we love you.
Yes, Marcia. But it was really about being what we needed as kids. And I think the opportunities are not always there just based on your environment. And I know... my mom worked all the time because my dad had passed away, and I needed other people in my life to help me attain that balance, to understand and believe that I could do anything that I wanted to. And so Boss Girls was a product of that, because so many times our young ladies, I started off working with athletes, and then I said, y'all in sweats all the time, y'all need to put some clothes on.
Right.
Then I saw the young ladies who were dressed all the time, but they weren't healthy physically. So I wanted to merge the two to help them understand that balance
it's important.
is important. So,
is there anything you have planned for this year?
I do. So I've got several programs. My Play Like a Girl. We are doing 10 different cities where we travel, and WNBA legends host free basketball clinics for the girls. Boss Girls I'll do in Vegas, Atlanta, and Cleveland. Vegas, Atlanta, and Cleveland will be there. So it's like a program where we go in, we talk about everything from financial literacy to life and body imaging and just everything, college prep, just trying to approach a holistic approach to make sure young ladies understand what they need to be successful.
Well, I love giving back, and I love community service.
I will reach out to you.
Yes, ma'am. Call me in the
have a little beauty session.
Yes, we can make that work.
Hair and bring Taylor in on makeup.
Taylor, we're gonna bring Kennedy. Know how to do locks.
Everything.
Jordan gonna be washing some. We're gonna figure it out for Jordan.
We will. So it's really about providing the resources for them, because not all the time do they have access. And I think it's important for our young ladies especially to see more than what's outside their window. And the more they're exposed to, the more opportunities they'll believe they can have for themselves.
Yeah, you definitely don't know what that one moment can be for somebody. It's like, this is other Black women doing things that I didn't even think.
They have to see it.
Yeah.
It's really important.
To remove them from whatever environment they may be dealing with. And just like, okay, this is cool. So, I mean, for me personally, that was something, being involved in church and being involved around successful women. It's like, oh, okay, I ain't got to be a baby mama, or I ain't got to be on drugs. Like, not no shots to nobody.
Everybody has their own situation, but you for sure have other options.
Yeah, like that ain't got to be life right now at like 18, 19, 20 years old. So, which I'm appreciative for. So, it's a lot going on right now with the WNBA.
Yes, so
especially with the women. Like, it's getting a lot more attention. So, what do you think impact Angel Reese and Caitlin will have? Caitlin. Caitlin Clark. I sound so country saying that. What kind of impact do you think they'll bring to the industry or to the sports?
It's exciting because it's like a perfect storm. The fact that all the storylines that were created during the NCAA the last couple of years, the rivalry that seemingly has built up between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and Cardoso. All of these women have been doing amazing things, and they brought a certain viewership to the WNBA that we didn't have. So the WNBA has been in existence for 27 years, and we've had a good following, but now it's just new eyes. People want to see Caitlin because she's broken all the records and done so many different things. But at the same time, these players, these women that are in the league are like, hey, we've been here.
Right.
So you come on in, and it ain't new to us, but you did. So it's going to be fun because the level is rising. The support is rising. Sponsorship dollars are coming in. The women now have chartered flights. Like, all this stuff is raising the level. That's going to make the level of play get even better. So I'm excited to watch it. I've got a couple of games on my schedule that I'll be going to within my own travels, but it's going to be amazing. So I'm really excited for everybody, especially the new viewers, to come in and check out our game.
Because I'm not even going to hold you. I'm not really huge into just sports in general, but like, I have been seeing a lot more. I'm like, all right, we're going to watch this clip. Like, that's cool. Like, I literally just earlier, I was watching some clips of Angel Reese in her last game, and I was like, okay. And people are just saying how they like the aggression she brings and the passion she brings to the game. A lot of
intensity. She's a hard worker. She hustles really hard. She's very, strong.
Unapologetic, too.
Unapologetically her. And that's one of the things, both on and off the court. she speaks to how important it is for young Black girls to see women that are walking in their truth.
Yeah. And that's one thing about social media too. Like, we can see a lot of crazy negative stuff, but then there's also things like this because everybody could see more. Versus back in the days, if you ain't had no TV or you weren't there or listening to the radio, you gonna miss it.
You had no idea what was going on in the world. But I think that's another part of this perfect storm. The fact that social media has done so much with providing viewership and something that happens right now in real time. You can see it in Spain or France or Italy. And that was never the case before.
Yeah. If you had to depict the perfect picture, what would you see the WNBA looking like in 10 years?
In 10 years, they would have to have 20 teams because there's not enough teams for all there's not enough teams for all the talent. A lot of women get cut because they're only the number of teams that there are. So I would love to see about 20 teams. I would love for the business side to increase so that the women could make $1 million salaries. I think the season probably needs to be extended because right now it's just from May, typically through September, Memorial Day to Labor Day, typically. This is a Olympic year, so the schedule is a little off. But I think we need a longer season. I think the support from the corporations, which have been amazing in the last 2 years, to increase. But I see that being the case, and they're working towards this. The new Commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, has done a great job with bringing in partners that are committing. Las Vegas, I worked in Las Vegas for 2 years, helped move the team from San Antonio to Vegas, and the city is bought in. The owner for the Raiders, Mark Davis, is the owner for the Aces, and he has so many relationships. They literally just sponsored every player on the Las Vegas Aces $100,000 per player.
Oh, wow.
That's commitment. They're bought in. They've won 2 championships and are seeking the 3-peat. But people got to buy in because these women work just as hard as the men.
Yeah, and I think that's what people are starting to understand. The pay don't match because it's not even the same amount of time that they're playing.
Not just that, but the WNBA is only 27 years old, and the NBA is almost 100 years old. So when you look at where we are versus where they were at 27 years, we're light years ahead of them.
Yeah.
And so people want to compare, but it's apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Then we still live in a very sexist world where I can still read a tweet. Some man will say, "Get in the kitchen." Like, sir, have several seats.
Oh my gosh.
This really is, we got to be realistic about the world. So the amount of support doesn't come as readily as it is for the men. And some people just like to see dunks and highlights, whereas the women's game is much more fundamental because you got to be creative about how you're going to score and get to the basket.
That makes sense. Speaking of negativity, how do you deal with the trolls?
I don't. I mean, sometimes, I have time because one of my friends, literally just last week, somebody said something and one of my friends was like, "Oh, I thought you was about to go off." But I was like, "I'll be back," but I got stuff to do. I literally try not to let myself go there. But there are times when people say stupid stuff and they get checked because it just doesn't make sense. But I know, and from working from kids too and helping them understand that oftentimes when people are saying dumb stuff, it's because they're ignorant or just because they just want attention.
Yeah, and it's about themselves more.
And it's about them.
I'm telling you.
Their insecurity is what makes them speak like that.
I never really comment on anything. Man, I made a mistake of questioning somebody's age, and them internet trolls,
yes,
they were arguing with me for 3 weeks. And I was like, I don't usually argue back, but I'm like, y'all got me messed up. Y'all not gonna change my opinion because they try to say, "Oh, you're a fat, you a fatphobia." Fatphobia, yeah. You a color. I was like, what? I never said anything about their weight, none of that. I just didn't think they were the age that they said they were. And so they try to nail me to the cross, something. You got an evil spirit. I'm like, Jesus, y'all got some deeper issues going on. But I was a little argumentative back. I'm not gonna hold you.
Sometimes you gotta do that.
Sometimes you gotta show people.
Sometimes.
This is not a battle you want to fight, but
I agree.
It is what it is. Is there anything else you like to share, or any messages you like to convey to your fans or basketball community as a whole?
I'm just excited about the space that I'm in right now. I've just recently started an AAU program. I'm continuing my work in the space of community. I'm getting these business opportunities, literally setting up an opportunity in Qatar for the royal family. I just believe that I'm supposed to be in the space that I am in. And I just like to encourage people to understand that when they're doing the work that they love and operating in passion, everything else will fall in place. And so for me, passion is an acronym for perseverance, attitude, sacrifice, setting goals, inner strength, optimism, and never giving up.
I love your mindset. It's so like, can we get like, yes, now I need some of that good juju. See, I be trying to practice yoga and meditation and reading the scripture, and sometimes I be like, it's an everyday battle though.
No, it is, but every day you just have to battle. You keep battling. So,
and speaking of that, like, so for me, my morning routine is usually like reading the scripture, meditating, How do you prepare for your mornings?
I lay in bed and just think about what my day's supposed to be like with my eyes closed, and I envision what it looks like. If I can make it perfect, what is this day going to look like? What are the things I need to do? Who are the people that I expect to impact? And what my attitude? Because I think it's a decision. You know, like we can get up every morning and something negative can happen and we can get knocked off. But what do you do to get back into that positive space? It's a choice. And so I just choose to make sure I'm in a positive space.
Yeah, that's important. Oh, and by the way, happy belated. I know that you're a Taurus. I'm a Taurus too. So
when's your birthday?
May 19th.
And my daughter's May 16th.
Oh, really? Look, I'm right on a little cusp of Gemini, but you know,
I
feel like Taurus women, we just rule the world. Like,
I would agree.
Yeah, any I see Jake's face in audience.
Got something?
Right. Like literally, we're like the best of both worlds. We're like compassionate, but also bossy and like understanding.
Leadership qualities, not bossy. Leadership.
There you go. I like how you said that.
No, but it's definitely, I had a very calm birthday. This year I spent in the gym with my AAU teams. So I have yet to celebrate the way that I want to, but I get the whole month of May. I share with my daughter, so we've got a couple of weeks left.
Oh, what y'all plan on doing?
We're not doing nothing together. I'm going to have me some birthday activity. She's this weekend we have a cookout with her teammates, so I'll celebrate her this weekend.
So does she also play basketball?
She does. She plays on one of my AAU teams.
That is an amazing.
That's our biggest struggle because I try not to coach her because I'm tough, and she thinks I'm always on her when I'm on everybody.
And I'm sure she thinks like the bar is all the way in.
And it is. That's why I try not to coach her.
Yeah,
that's exactly why I try not to coach her because I know her potential and I don't want to push her too hard, and push her away from it. So I just try and be hands off. It doesn't always work, but I try.
That's the Taurus in us. It's like I know better. I'm telling you.
I know.
Well, I so appreciate you for sitting here with us, giving us some new updates about you, what you have going on, and we definitely gonna get the community service going.
Absolutely.
But we do have a little question game. It's 3 questions. If you shall win it, we got a prize for you.
Okay.
All right. So Jordan's gonna ask us the 3 questions. I don't know the questions either. So whoever
let's start with this. In a website browser address bar, what does www stand for?
World Wide Web.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bingo.
You was a little struggling over there. I don't know about that.
I didn't hear the words coming out of her mouth, so I was like, I'm gonna let her.
I'm supposed to let you answer?
No. Okay. You're supposed to answer. You
play to win. Come on now.
Because I'm gonna steal the gift back if you don't answer.
Now I think this may be a little bit more tricky. So, in what country did the first Starbucks open outside of North America?
Outside of North America.
Let me think about this. Was it Italy?
No.
France?
No. And I'm not just going to have you randomly, you got 2 already. You get one more chance over there.
China?
No, but close.
Japan?
Bingo.
Really? I think it was one of the Asian companies.
Oh yeah, because they do have McDonald's over there too, don't they?
They got McDonald's everywhere, but I know their lifestyles are very similar, or at least they try to mimic their lifestyle.
Got 2 up on me.
Okay. Two up on me. I mean, it really is sweet right now, but we'll continue to go. Let me see, and I did have one more question. And I'm sorry, Angel, this is a little bit, at a disadvantage for you. But out of the 8 original WNBA teams, I know we named 2, which was the Cleveland Rockers as well as Charlotte Sting. Can you give me 2 more teams, each of you?
I can name all of them. Utah Stars, Charlotte Sting, Houston Comets, Phoenix Mercury, Cleveland, New York Liberty. You want me to give you some?
It's I'm already on the game, honey. You done laid up, shot, pointers, all that. I'm out. I'm on the ground. Foul.
LA Sparks. What's that? LA.
She want me to get her the other answer.
Phoenix. Who was the other West Coast team? LA, Utah, Phoenix, West Coast. LA, Sacramento, Utah, Phoenix, Cleveland, Charlotte, Houston, New York.
Bingo.
Okay.
That is a clean sweep. Right there.
Well, you know, I gave you. I gotta give you a little booster. I ain't want to see the people disappointed.
I appreciate you. Thank you for lifting me up, my sister.
But you know, you actually won, so we have a spa massage for you.
Oh,
so
right.
An email from you and send it to you. Could you tell these beautiful people how they can continue to keep up with you and support you?
Absolutely. On social media, my Instagram is Rushia B, RUSHIAB. My X, Twitter, all that other stuff is the same. My Facebook is Rushia, RUSHIA Brown, BROWN. And my nonprofit is ServCom, SERVCOM.org.
Yeah. All right. Well, I definitely, again, appreciate you for coming in. You didn't have to do this. So, you know, much love and respect.
I look forward to us impacting the girls in the community.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Got to do it for
it's on tape. So now.
Yeah, I got you.
Locked in.
You and us Tauruses, we are women. We are women of our words.
Absolutely.
So thank y'all again for tuning in. As always, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. We cannot do what we love if you don't support us. So, till next time.